All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 7 recap, Survivor 41. We have a special guest today, Carl from Survivor David versus Goliath. Carl, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely, man. Glad y'all had me.
Of course, of course. Before we dive into the episode and get Carl's thoughts on the season so far, the first thing we had to address was we were wrong. We were wrong, and we're happy to admit it. We always said if our theory was wrong, we'd be happy to admit it. For those who don't know what we're referring to, prior to the season, when we cyber stalked every contestant for season 41 except Jeannie because she doesn't exist online, um, we developed a theory that Sydney was medevaced, and it was really our first and only thing like theory that we've done on the show that's I guess gone viral. It got a lot of traction. Survivor Twitter, Survivor Reddits, and of course it led to it blowing up in our face because we were totally wrong. But we accepted that that would be a possibility. But also, I blame Alexa from Survivor Specialists. It was really all her
Yep.
idea from the start,
Yep.
and we kind of just went along with it. Right? Is that
Exact.
how it went down?
We were not the people who started that at all. It totally wasn't us. It didn't start with us. It wasn't. Adam did not stalk Sydney on her Instagram stories. None of that happened. It was Alexa from the specialist. It wasn't us.
No,
All
it
right.
was
Don't
us.
y'all
It was
say nothing
all us.
bad about my girl Alexa now. I can't let y'all my guys. So I'm just gonna let y'all know I can't let y'all say nothing bad about them two.
No, it was us. It was all us.
It was us.
And just wanted to say we stocked for podcast purposes. It was so we could do cast assessment. Didn't want anyone to think it was anything but that. But we were wrong. We were wrong about Sydney. She
Well,
did have an injury. It wasn't a fake injury. If I read her current story correct, it was a pre-existing injury that maybe got heightened because of some intense challenges. So it wasn't a completely made up thing, but that would also been cool if she faked a medevac. That would have been kind of cool. But so we're gonna dive into the episode. We're gonna dive into where our fantasy teams start. But first,
gosh.
definitely wanted to get Carl's opinion on the season. I know we told all you guys we would um, sort of split the season in half. First half, it would just be me and Gideon. Starting around the merge, we would try to have a guest on every week. So, Carl, thanks again for being our first guest. What are your thoughts on the season so far? You liking it?
Well, I'll just have to be honest. No, I don't like it. I mean, it's growing on me, but in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, I don't. It's a lot of twists and turns. Of course, I know they're saying that this is the new Survivor or whatever, but I don't know. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's too much. I mean, I'm seeing too many advantages, way too many freaking trips. I mean, hell, I would have loved to take all those trips they're taking, just to get off the damn island to go to another one, obviously. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a lot going on so fast. In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I just wish that it would slow down just a tad. But it brings its fun to it, I guess, because it's something that we're not used to, so perhaps if you're a new student to the game of Survivor, then you're enjoying it because you're not used to the old game, the old style. So maybe this new style is for a new person watching, but for an old guy or old fan, I just like I said, I just think it's too much help being given with all the advantages and idols and all of that stuff literally being put right in their face. I mean, it's just like handed to them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, you can
That's
miss me with
pretty.
that.
That's pretty crazy that the guy who started the idol nullifier is saying there's too many advantages in a season. That's when you know it's bad. Do you have any favorites so far?
Yes, I do have favorites. My top pick is Shan. I think Shan is playing the best game. She started out playing the best game, um,
Mm-hmm.
socially and strategically. Like
Hmm.
she's in the know on everything, and
Mm-hmm.
that's real tough to be in the know on everything. But
Hmm.
so far she's my number one pick. Um, I would have to say I hope it doesn't turn around to bite her in the ass if I must, because she is knowing a little too much. You know, sometimes you got to just kind of sort of step back, you know, and not be in the middle of everything, because then you're going to be visualized as playing the game real tough, and
Mhm.
no one wants to compete against someone that's playing the game that tough, because obviously they're playing very well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like do we know like we know she's playing a good game. It's kind of hard for us to tell if everybody else knows that she's playing a great game. We don't really quite know her threat level amongst everyone else, even though we know she's playing great so far.
Well, when you're out there on that island, I mean, if you're paying attention, then you can pick up on who's playing hard and who's not, you know? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you go back to my season,
Mm-hmm.
you guys might have didn't see it on the TV, but like Elizabeth was playing hard as hell, you know? That's why, and she was in my alliance from the very beginning with the David tribe. But once we merged, it was like, okay, for me, it's like and it had nothing to do with any beef between me and Elizabeth. It was just the mere fact that she was on board with everybody, you know. So like she had done befriended everyone, and that's scary in the game of Survivor. You know, you gotta have somebody that don't like you. Well, hell, everybody
Mhm.
liked her. So for me, it was like, oh yeah, no, this is a no-brainer. I got to do something with her, because I don't know where her vote lies. I don't know what side she's on, you know? So that's why I say you pick up on who's really playing and who's not. If you ain't picking up on it, then you just out there
Mhm.
for a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, we've every week so far on the podcast, Carl, me and Gideon did like an MVP of the episode, or who we thought was maybe most likely to win. I forget who we picked. Who did we pick week one? Someone different week one. Maybe JD. I forget,
Yeah,
because he
week
started
one,
off. He had
week
a
week
decent
week
first episode.
week one, we did say JD. Then after that, it was pretty much all Chantel, then Effie, and
Week
then
after week.
Ricard. Yeah, week after week,
Yeah. Oh,
it seemed.
it might have actually been Evie episode one. I think JD was maybe like our fan favorite week one, but it was Evie
Yeah,
week one. There was Chantel.
yeah. We picked
So
Ricard. We picked Ricard once on that
it was
final
last week.
three. Yeah, last week, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And we'll give that out for this week. But this episode started where we revealed whether or not Erica smashed, and I don't think it's a big surprise that she smashed the hourglass. I mean, yes, by smashing it, you make a couple people mad at you, but if she doesn't smash it, she's not immune and likely on the very bottom and voted out. If she does smash, she has immunity. So to me, it was a no-brainer. But Carl, like if you were in that situation, do you think you would have done the same thing and smashed the hourglass?
Oh, I'm not hesitating. I would have smashed it immediately. I
You would
mean,
smash it in
Yeah.
front of Jeff.
immediately, because in that point, like her game is already vulnerable because she's away. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I
Mm-hmm.
went through the same thing. Like I was away on exile by myself. So like these people can possibly be talking about you and it's nothing you can do about it. So in that situation, she was given the opportunity to take the game in her own hands. You have to take it. You have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely would have smashed it with no hesitation.
for sure. There was I know, referring back to 2 episodes ago, they had mentioned, I think it was Danny that said that they picked her based on a rock, paper, scissors challenge. I texted Gideon this meme I found. I was trying to find it for this, but I couldn't find it. It would have been funny if when Jeff says, "Why did you smash it?" if she would have said, rock, paper, scissors. I feel like it would have been a funny throwback
Yeah,
to picking
yeah.
her. But
A slap in the face, basically, right?
Yeah.
um, we had I think this was the closest challenge so far. I mean, it was really just between two people. It feels like a lot of challenges this season have been like blowouts. Like there's always been like one tribe that just gets decimated, which has been interesting. But it's between Ricard and Sydney, who come to find out probably were the two that needed it the most. I feel like Danny and Deshaun were probably the most safe. But I do feel like Ricard probably would have been in trouble had
100%.
he not. Had he not. We've been, Carl, me and Gideon have been a little critical of the challenges this season. I feel like they've been sort of taken a notch down. It feels like a lot of them have been really simple, and this one included. Do you I was curious, like, do you prefer more like big epic challenges, like as a viewer?
I mean, I don't think that was a simple challenge. I don't think any of them so far has been real simple. To be honest with you, when you're actually out there and doing it, and you're sleep deprived, you're hungry. I mean, your mental is all over the place. Ain't none of that shit is easy. Like literally, I can tell you, none of it is easy. So no, I don't see a problem with any of the challenges they've done so far. Maybe it's just
Mm,
that before they got to merge, they just had a one tribe was way stronger than all the others. So they
Which that
made it
was the
look
case.
mm,
easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can promise you they weren't easy. None of them have been easy.
mm,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's that's all that is. They just had a stronger tribe than the rest of them. The rest of the tribes were just weak.
Well,
So,
Adam and
yeah.
I loved the merge challenge with the two teams. We thought
Hmm.
that one was
Mm,
great. But what we hated is that like it ended up not meaning anything
Right.
because, of course, I don't know what you guys think about this, but whoever won the challenge ended up getting punished. I wasn't a
Pretty
fan of
much.
that.
Yeah, see, that was again, that's another one of
mm,
Survivor trying to do too much with all the twists, because I'm like you, what was the whole point of it? You know what I
They could,
mean? You should
yeah,
have
they could have
just,
flipped the coin.
yeah, you could have just done a regular challenge and let it be what it is. But, they gotta try to make it look good, So it worked out for
yeah.
Erica at the end of the day. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm,
she's about the only one that it really worked out for. I mean, along with the ones that, she chose that didn't have to worry about being voted out, obviously. But yeah, no, that threw
mm,
a big monkey wrench in it. But yeah, no, sometimes less is more. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
mm,
And right
Yeah.
now they're doing a little too much, like I say, in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing with the challenges is I don't know if you've ever watched it, Carl, but me and Gideon have both been getting into Australian Survivor recently,
Okay.
especially during the long break. And I don't know if you've ever seen any seasons, but the challenges in Australia, they're really like
They're
um,
crazy.
they're like crazy epic. Like they don't really do any like endurance. Like they're all like just crazy, a million parts to get it. So I
Hmm.
think we watched so much of that compared to U.S. Survivor. I think that might have been what caused a bit of a difference. But yeah, like Gideon said, I think there have been some good ones. The one with the big ball rolling last week, I thought was really
Yeah.
good.
No, that was great. I just like I said, I just wish it meant something.
Yeah, that was a new one. I've never seen that one before. So yeah, that
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've seen a
Uh,
few a few Australian survivors. Some of their stuff is brutal. I mean,
yeah.
physically, like they do a lot of physical, I mean, contact on theirs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas
It's
US Survivor don't have a lot of, they used
Hmm.
to in the past, a lot of, person to person contact, but they've kind of gotten away from that.
Yeah.
probably after a few
I know
choke slams.
Yeah.
I know one reason for that is, and I was talking to Chris was informing me about this. He hosts Survivor Worldwide, our international Survivor show on the channel. But what he told me was that when they recruit players for Australian Survivor, they really go for they have a lot of athletes on the show, a
Mm.
lot of former athletes or people who are physical, like fitness trainers or Instagram models that like to keep themselves in great physique. So I think that might be the reason why Australia might go for some of the tougher, more brutal challenges, like you said, is because they have people who are in better physical condition than just your average U.S. Survivor player. But although
Right.
this season does have some good challenge competitors, I think Danny and Xander
Yeah.
have been two really great ones.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to think. I mean, Danny is an ex NFL player. I mean, come on.
They don't know
They
that,
Yeah.
but
they don't want nothing physical. No person-to-person physical stuff with
Right.
that guy. I mean, come on.
Nah, yeah,
Yeah,
Danny would
no,
mop the floor with
no.
him.
Yeah,
I was,
shit. I know I'd forfeit right off the rip. I'm not fixing to
yeah,
go against your big ass. No.
I was really like when Danny was after the challenge was like complaining about you know, winning and then losing the you know, the merge. Felt like a lot of people resonated with that at home. But
Yeah,
what did you think?
I wasn't surprised that was his reaction. I was
Oh
surprised that the
yeah.
editors decided to put
That's
that
what
in
I
the
was
edit.
gonna say. Yeah, like what, like you included that in the edit. Also, Deshaun saying, at the when Erica showed back up from extinction, or yeah, when he was like, you know, this isn't the Survivor I'm used to, but I guess we got to roll with it. You know, I was like, oh gosh, why'd you include that? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Well, that whole edit thing, that's something
Yeah.
totally different, man. You know. But I'm liking Danny, man. Most people wouldn't take Danny serious, you know, considering that he is a ex NFL player. You know, their first thought would be, oh, well, this guy is only here just because, you know, whatever. He's already got money, this, that, whatever. But he's really into this game of Survivor. Like he's playing like
Mhm.
he's a normal person, like one of us three would be out there. You know, it's like he's put
Mhm.
everything else behind him. Like, forget the fame that I used to have or whatever. I'm a normal guy playing
Mhm.
Survivor, so I'm liking how he's playing.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know a lot of the previous Survivor athletes that have made it on the show were recruits, but
Right.
Danny, according to articles and survivors I've talked to, he's been like trying to get on the show for years now. I think it was
Yeah,
like
like
5 or 6 years. He's been
applied. Right.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, most
for sure.
definitely. So that lets you know that he's really a fan of Survivor. Like he wanted to play just like anybody else, you know? So it's
Mm-hmm.
just not one of those layup spots where you just put some big name athlete or movie star or whatever on the show, you know? Like this guy
Hmm.
really wanted to be a normal person, normal player like anyone else.
Yeah, and he's in
Right.
position to finish as one of the best athletes we've seen on Survivor, you
Oh yeah,
know?
most definitely.
Because I think the best one we've had so far, or at placement wise, was Jeff Kent.
Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Or Gary.
And then what was the God, I'm drawing a blank. The guy he was a quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, Gary
Um,
Hogelboom.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
you've had some that's played very well, but
yeah.
like we say, for the most part, they're not really into it. I mean, it's almost like they're just there.
Yeah.
I thought Gary was a construction worker. He built houses.
Ha
No,
ha.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's the
isn't
joke.
that isn't that what
Landscaper. He said he was a landscaper.
he said? He was a
yeah,
landscaper. That's right.
landscaper.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: before tonight's tribal, no one really knew that Danny was a professional athlete, did they?
They still don't know.
Well, they will after tonight's tribal. If I don't, I mean, well, last night's tribal, but I don't know if you remember. Jeff kind of sort of mentioned something about it when
Yeah,
he
he
asked him
said
about the
he's
arenas that he's been in.
well LSU.
Mm,
He mentioned that he played for LSU.
Oh,
But
okay, okay,
he said, so like if I'm a player, if I put myself in their shoes, I'd be like, okay, he's talking about the arena at LSU. It's
okay,
also, I
okay,
mean, they're
okay.
SEC. That's, you know, he didn't play at no JUCO or anything.
I got you. And yeah, don't look like anybody that's on this season are huge sports fans. So
Yeah, I don't think
you know what I
anybody's gonna
mean?
pick up on
Yeah,
it.
no, no. In my season, me and Nick would have jumped on that right off the bat because me and
Yeah, I
Nick both
feel,
love
mm.
sports. You
yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
feel like
So
I mean, if you had a Cowboy fan, he might have been in trouble. But
yeah, yeah. Dan's was a big sports fan. So yeah, we would have picked up on it.
Mhm.
But nobody in this season looks like they give two shits about sports.
no,
Yeah. Are you a Carl? Are you a Cowboys fan or
No, you don't
or
see
you're
this G
Packers, right?
behind me. You don't
he's
see this G
Packers,
behind
you're
me.
right?
you're having a good year, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm still having a good year now. Rogers isn't going to play Sunday, obviously, and then I'm
Right.
disappointed that my Astros lost. But other than
Mm,
that, it's all good.
I
yeah.
hate the Braves, so it's okay.
Well, I'd much rather it be the Braves that beat us than the Dodgers because I hate the
Mhm.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with it though.
That's fine.
Yeah. I saw Devontae Adams is back this Sunday though, so
Yeah.
That's my
Not
fantasy. That's my fantasy guy right there.
Yeah.
Needs
yeah.
to carry
Not
me.
all hope is lost. But I know you mentioned tribal. I thought this was probably the best tribal yet, even though there was all the whispering and everything, which can get a little annoying. I did like they finally gave us subtitles. We've been complaining for years now. I feel like ever since Game Changers, when JT started the whole whispering of tribal, we were like, I've been asking to get subtitles, but other than that, we're just all we hear is so.
I think this has to be the liveliest tribal in any freaking Survivor tribal council.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they were all over the place. I mean, and
it's up there.
yeah.
For sure.
The
it
vote,
was a no-brainer.
yeah, it completely changed. You know, like sometimes you get some whispering. We saw it in Winners at War, and nothing really happens. They're just whispering to whisper, which was stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at this tribal, I mean,
And
they
for me, I
swung
think
it.
they got spooked because they initially wanted Evie, and if you think about it, they still could have got Evie out because the idol was not played at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely up to Deshaun.
Right. They still could have got her out if they wanted. You know?
Do you think Deshaun did that on purpose, or did he accidentally vote Sydney out?
Well, no, he didn't accidentally vote her out. I mean, shit, you don't accidentally write down a name. You know what I'm saying?
Twice.
Yeah, it's just that must be just what he wanted to do.
One was Evie and one was Sydney.
Right. But
That's what he wrote down.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's why I was wondering.
He played his extra vote.
extra vote.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because like I don't know, to me it might have made more sense for him to take out Evie, but I don't know if he really wanted Sydney out, and or just didn't know that somebody was going to throw a vote. I don't know.
I mean, I hate to see Sydney go, but Sydney was a little bit arrogant.
She might have voted herself out of the game too.
Yeah, she was a little arrogant. I don't know her, obviously. I've never met her, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about her, but she was a little arrogant for me. I mean,
don't say that too loud. Sydney lives like 10 blocks from me.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
She might hear you.
If anybody knows me, they know I'm gonna keep it real 100. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Like I say, I don't mean anything bad about it, but if I can't be truthful and honest, then I just might as well not even talk. You know what I'm saying?
Because of course, she
ain't
definitely
nothing fake about me.
I don't know if that's how she is in real life either, but from the edit, it did seem like she said it herself. She's a bit full of herself. That's what she said.
That's basically what I'm going off of the edit. And trust me, I know about the edit. The editing sucks. You know, she could have been the sweetest person out there, but the way that they edited her, it sucks. It makes her look like a different person. She may not be that type of person at all, but from what they showed on the TV, that's what she looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go. I hated my freaking edit, but it's nothing I can do about it. I mean, if you meet me in person, then you'll know what type of person I am. As far as me on Survivor, you can only go off of what you've seen on TV. That I know that's not who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that edit plays a major part. Major part. I can guarantee you 95% of Survivor players all hate the edit. All of them.
Yeah. I do feel a little bad for Sydney because she did get a little screwed by Erica, smashing and her winning. And then, just an unfortunate series of events. She's voiced on social media very much that she hates what happened and she thinks she got screwed by production and she wants nothing to do with Survivor anymore. And she's still throwing a little bit of a fit. But
just about all of us come out of the game feeling that way because it's so fresh. You know what I mean? And you're hurt because you go out there for one reason, to win. So you're kind of hurt when you watch this back and you're like, well, damn, why didn't they show the good things I did? You know what I mean? Or why didn't they show the major moves I was making? You know, you don't get that. You don't get that at all. When I played, I made all sorts of moves. You go back and watch my season, you don't see any of them. You don't see any of them. But then you ask yourself, well, why were they calling him the Godfather? Who gets that name if he's not doing anything? You know what I'm saying? You don't just randomly give somebody a name that's a powerful name like that if he's not doing nothing.
Yeah.
So my edit didn't show me doing anything.
Yeah, if you're getting called a threat and you're asking yourself, well, what have they done? They're obviously not showing something.
Exactly. Because It's just they put out what they feel like is best for their ratings. You know,
Hmm.
they want to make you a villain. Guess what? They're gonna make you a villain no matter what. They videoing you 24 hours a day, so they got all sorts of footage.
Right.
So they're gonna roll it the way they want to roll it. You just got to deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I was curious because I was curious if you guys were thinking this too, but like if Deshaun or if Sydney hadn't used her shot in
Shot
the
in the dark.
dark,
Mm-hmm.
she would have voted for
Heavy.
I guess Evie, which means Evie would have got 4 and Sydney would have got 4. So if they revote, does Deshaun still get 2 votes? I feel like he would only
No.
get 1.
He would only get one, and then you
Right.
decide is it Sydney or Effie, which is why I was asking, did Deshaun think that Sydney was going to vote for Evie and they could tie and then revote, and he didn't anticipate her using the shot in the dark, so she gets voted out. Did he anticipate that? That's why I was asking, was it an accident that did Sydney vote herself out of the game essentially?
And that's one of the things we'll never know the answer to.
We'll have to wait for the postseason interviews or something.
Yep. Yep.
Well, because if they did revote, I feel like Deshaun would have voted would have voted Evie with his vote.
That's how I was feeling, but I guess we don't really know.
In which case, Evie would go home and Sydney would have stayed. So, I guess, long story short, then yes, if Sydney hadn't played her shot in the dark, she probably would have not been voted out. So, did she get screwed with the winning the challenge but still not getting immunity? Yes, but also she, shouldn't have played her shot in the dark. But that's no fault
a
to
fair
her.
point. That's a fair point. And at the time, I thought that using her shot in the dark was the right move because I was like, you are probably going home. And honestly, if I was in Sydney's position, I would probably do it too because I want to go out, get my torch snuffed, kicking and screaming.
Oh yeah, she had to. I mean, if you got any glimpse that you're on the blocks, you gotta use everything you got. You know what I mean? Because you don't get a second chance. Like it makes no sense to leave, get voted out, and not use whatever you have to try to keep you in. So yeah, her playing her shot in the dark, that was a no-brainer. She was supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Xander's move with the fake idol? I thought it was.
I like that move. I like that.
Yeah.
It was my personal favorite fake idol play. It was.
Yeah, I like it.
It was I hate the knowledge is power thing. Still hate it. Still think it's terrible and stupid. But that was a good moment.
Yeah. He totally exposed
Liana,
however you pronounce her name. Yeah, he totally exposed her on that one. But then at the same time, it didn't do anything. It didn't change anything, because they still didn't play the idol. They still didn't get nothing to work in their favor, and if you think about it, they still don't have the numbers unless they can change something around because the
only thing is he did flush Liana's advantage.
He did flush that.
That's the only thing that happened.
Which is a good thing. Now that's out of play. But then, hell, the way this season is going, it's like, what's going to be given to him next? You know what I'm saying? What new advantage are they going to put out there now?
I don't think, and Carl, I'm interested to hear what you think about this, but I mean, I don't think he should have played the idol just because if he does play it, who does he play it for? If he plays it for Sydney, then his ally Evie goes home. Sydney ended up going home anyways.
Well, I guess the question is Tiffany going to give it back to him? Because he doesn't have it. She had it.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
She also has his other advantage. She also has his extra vote. She has 2.
Does she give it back to him? If you remember, Ricard didn't want to give Shan back her stuff.
Nah, yeah.
So it's like
he had to, though.
I mean, I'll just keep it for me now.
I think if I was Xander, I would say keep the extra vote and give me the idol. To keep an alliance.
I think if I was Xander, I would learn to be quiet because Xander has told someone, if not multiple people, everything that he's had.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
who does that? I mean, this season of Survivor, like everybody knows everything about who has what, and I mean,
Yeah.
like
Liana should have kept her mouth shut too.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yep.
they putting way too
Nasir.
much trust. He's
You
the
need to
only
play like
one.
Nasir.
He's the only one that no one knows what he has.
Yep.
He's the only one. Everyone else is like, oh, I got this, I got that. No, man, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, you got to be
Well,
quiet.
here is the
Oh
the
gosh.
fantasy team. So I lost another one. So Gideon's slowly catching up on me, but
Let's go.
he does have three great power players: Danny, Deshaun, and Chantel. What's cool is like, except maybe Heather, I could see a way that any of these people up here could win.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're all
Danny,
power players, but
Danny,
Oh.
Danny, Deshaun, Chantel, and Liana, they have that Power 4 alliance that I think is going to go really far. So I'm very excited, and I feel like Liana's kind of getting dragged.
well, they didn't
along
vote
really
together
quick.
this episode.
Well, only because they split.
Yeah, they split.
They did that purposely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they were together.
But
They
they're
just
still,
did what they had to do.
They knew where the votes were going. So I'm very
Yeah,
happy
exactly,
with the draft
exactly.
now, because I honestly feel like that. I feel like at the moment, that Power 4 alliance, I feel like it is going to go far.
Heather is just, I mean, she's just hanging on. She'll go far because of the fact that she's not a threat to anyone.
Would
She's
you want
not
to take her to the final 3?
Yeah, she's not a challenge threat, obviously. I mean, she basically just rides with whatever keeps her there. So she'll go a little further just for that mere purpose right there.
Right.
Nasir's gonna have to get himself further because he's coming off as a threat because he's playing. He wants to compete in every challenge. You know what I mean? He's when you come talk to him, if it's the right thing, he's willing to ride with you. You know what I mean? So he's gonna have to carry himself. This might have been Erica's only shot, unless something else big takes place, because you can rest assured there's 5 or 6 other people that wasn't happy with the fact that she switched that up. So, and which she was already a target anyways. So yeah, this may be her last big move. Like I said, unless something else, some other twist happens, or someone else
probably will happen.
right, which will probably happen. Of course, obviously, Evie, Xander, and Tiffany are on the chopping block because of the 3 of them just show that they are literally together. You know what I mean? And they don't have the numbers. So the wild card for me, the wild card right now after last night's episode is Ricard, because he wasn't really a major part in that episode if you think about it. I mean, he moved with the majority, but he wasn't like a major piece in a sense. You know what I mean? Like there was no focus on him. So he's a wild card for me. It's like he can go either way.
Yeah,
if he want to leave Shan, because him and Shan been rolling tight since the beginning. But if he want to leave and form something on the other side, he's the wild card to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like him and Nasir are kind of like in the same position in the middle, where they're not in that core 4 that they call themselves, with Chantel, Danny, Deshaun, and Liana. It's just a sense of, can Nasir sense that? Can Ricard sense that? And are they willing to make the move over with the Yase 3 and Erica? Probably.
Yeah. That's what.
Yeah, I do like Riley's comment here.
Snuff. Yeah, I could see Nasir trying to break up that Power 4 alliance by working with Yase. Yeah, that can definitely take place. I mean, the question is, will he pick up?
Especially if he brings Ricard with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say to me, Ricard is a wild card, because you don't know which way he's gonna want to go. But if I was Nasir, I would I would literally say with the numbers right now, only because I know I have these advantages in my pocket and they don't know about them. So I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't
Mhm.
I wouldn't try to make too much ripples in the water right now because I know the smaller the game gets, I still have this, so I can still do a little bit more work before I have to just become rogue in a sense.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we wrap up the episode, maybe we could all just say if we had like an MVP of the episode. I feel like if I had to give one, I'd probably give it to Xander just because he did flush Liana's idol without everyone in his alliance was saved, and he still keeps his own idol, assuming that Tiffany gives it back. So in
Right.
that sense, I'll give my MVP of the episode to Xander. But what do you guys think?
I can agree with that. I would say Xander, like you said, he was able to flush an advantage. He still has his idol if again Tiffany gives it back to him. So he lived to see
Mhm.
another day. I mean, him and his core alliance, they get to fight some more, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, he played the best this particular episode.
Yeah, Xander, I agree. I think Xander played the best game this episode. He did pretty much everything right, considering the knowledge about the knowledge is power advantage. Ended up biting Liana, and that was great. I don't know what the future holds for Xander. Things aren't looking great,
Mhm.
but for now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely. So, well, guys, thanks for watching. Or if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts, thanks for listening. If you're not on those and you do want to listen, don't want to watch, whether you're driving, flying, whatever, check us out on there. The links to all those are in the description. Be sure to subscribe because we got some more great guests coming on. Really excited for next week's guest. Check out our Twitter because we'll be announcing that soon. As always, it'll be the day after each episode. Yeah, like the
Before
video,
you
leave a comment. Yeah,
before you sign off, Adam, I'd like to let everyone know if they don't mind.
yeah.
Go to the Give the Kids the World website.
Mm.
That's going to be taking place December the 9th through the 11th in Orlando, Florida. If you don't mind, go to that website, find my page, donate to my page, please. All the proceeds go to Give the Kids the World. I deeply, deeply appreciate it if you can donate something. Anything helps, you know what I mean? Like I say, all the proceeds go to these beautiful young kids that are unfortunate right now. So yeah, do that. Give the kids the world.
Yep. If you guys need the website for that, it's www.gktw.org.
We'll leave the link in the description too, for you guys to check out. So.
Yep.
All right, Carl, thanks again so much for joining us. And everyone go and hopefully we enjoy episode 8 as well. See you guys.
Sure. Thank you guys for having me.